Have you ever felt like you're in over your head? That's exactly how I felt on day 1 of GUE Fundamentals course. This wasn't just another dive class, it was a test of will and pushed me to my limits. Let me show you how this course nearly broke me and how it transformed me into a completely different diver over the course of the 4 toughest days of diving I've experienced yet. My journey into GUE Fundamentals wasn't just about honing skills, it was about facing my own limitations head on. Imagine stepping into a course that promises to push you beyond your comfort zone, and I was armed with unfamiliar gear and a rusty dry suit skill. Would you have the courage to dive in? That's the exact position I found myself in, and let me show you how this decision was both terrifying and transformative. GUE, or Global Underwater Explorers, isn't just another dive organization. It's recognized worldwide for its exceptionally high standards in diving education. The Fundamentals course is their cornerstone, a prerequisite for more advanced training like technical or cave diving. But why put myself through such a rigorous experience? For me, it was about pushing boundaries. I'd been diving for years, but I knew there was always room for improvement. The appeal of GUE Fundamentals lay in its reputation for turning good divers into great ones. It promised to refine skills applicable to all levels of diving, from recreational to technical. This course wasn't just about adding another certification to my collection, it was about becoming the best diver I could be. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't going into this blind. I knew the course structure: 4 intense days, 6 challenging dives, and a price tag of around $1,000 USD. But what I didn't anticipate was the perfect storm of challenges I would face. I hadn't been dry suit diving in about 8 years, and I just bought a new dry suit, and all the gear was supposed to arrive well before the course so I could practice. Lo and behold, fate decided it would show up just in time for the class. Talk about diving into the deep end. I was about to tackle one of the toughest courses in recreational diving while simultaneously reacquainting myself with a dry suit, a new one, and getting used to all the new gear that I had to get for the course. Some of it was rental, some of it I bought. And the need for it was obviously because I'm starting to dive local here in Seattle, and it is colder water than my warm water diving stuff normally could handle. And did I mention I was taking the course with a single cylinder? I wasn't even aiming for a technical pass. I was aiming for what they call a recreational pass, which is still quite difficult to get. The curriculum itself was daunting. GUE Fundamentals isn't just about diving, it's about diving with precision. The course structure includes classroom theory, land drills, and in-water sessions. We'd be focusing on refining skills like buoyancy, trim, and propulsion, the fundamental building blocks of effective diving. It's these skills that set GUE divers apart, allowing them to move through water with grace and control. But why put ourselves through this? It's about more than just becoming a better diver. It's about a joint community of like-minded individuals who are passionate about the diving experience. GUE's approach is about standardized procedures and team dynamics. This standardization means that GUE-trained divers can dive together seamlessly, even if they've never met before. It's a level of coordination and efficiency that's rare in the diving world, and that's a little appealing. The journey was about to begin, and little did I know just how much it would test me. Now, you might be wondering if this course is for you. Maybe you're thinking, I'm already a very skilled diver. Maybe you're even a dive master with lots of experience. Do you really need this course? I've heard from many experienced divers and even long-term instructors from other agencies being brought to their knees and humbled by this course. Let me show you more of how this course will benefit you, but first let me take a moment to reflect on my own aspirations and how it benefited me. One of the most challenging aspects was adapting to GUE mindset. It's not just about completing tasks, it's about doing them with precision and control. Every movement underwater is scrutinized. Are you perfectly horizontal in the water? Is your buoyancy control spot on? Can you perform complex drills without disturbing your position in the water column? This level of attention to detail can be frustrating at first, but it's also what makes GUE divers stand out. The first dive hit me like a ton of bricks. I was struggling with the new gear, getting the weighting right, and the course curriculum. In short, it was a total shit show, worse than I was expecting. From that alone, I was already expecting to fail the course, and yet I still felt compelled to rise to the challenge and continue to absorb everything I could. There is so much to learn, but that was just the beginning. The physical demands of the course are also intense. One of the requirements is to complete a 300-yard swim test in less than 14 minutes without stopping. Now add a 50-yard breath hold while submerged, and you have a real challenge ahead of you. These challenges aren't just arbitrary tests. They're designed to ensure you have the stamina and lung capacity to handle demanding diving situations. Not to mention, GUE does try to have a minimum bar for fitness for their divers. The mental challenges were equally daunting. We had to show we've nearly mastered complex underwater skills like buoyancy control, trim, finning, while doing task loading skills such as safety drills, deploying a DSMB, and emergency air sharing, all the way up to the surface. But it's the perfection that is expected that will set the skills apart from what I've seen from other courses. These skills are essential and can make the difference between a safe dive and a dangerous one. Many divers take GUE Fundamentals to improve on previous training from other agencies. It's not about replacing what you know, it's about enhancing it. The structured approach GUE offers can take your diving to a whole new level. Ultimately, the decision to take GUE Fundamentals comes down to you. The material taught by other agencies is not wrong, and you could very well be an amazing diver without doing GUE Fundamentals. However, the course will push you to improve regardless of your previous experience. I've been diving for years, but GUE Fundamentals made me feel like a beginner all over again. It's not about discarding what you know, it's about refining it and enhancing it down to the point you did not think it was possible. The level of skill and knowledge of the instructors is beyond anything I'd imagined, and they really provide top-notch instruction and will personalize the course and demands of it to you so they can ensure that you improve no matter what. If you're considering taking on this challenge, here's my advice. Prepare to be humbled, but also be prepared to be amazed at what you can achieve. Continuous improvement is one thing, but facing your absolute limit is another. There's a point in this course where every diver confronts their breaking point. How you respond in that moment determines everything. For me, that breaking point came during the buoyancy and trim drills. After struggling with my dry suit and overweighting issues, I found myself floundering in the water. It was frustrating and demoralizing. But here's where the true value of the GUE approach shines. Instead of giving up, I decided to push through. I asked for extra practice time between the official course dives. I spent hours in our local lake working on my buoyancy and trim with my wife, and slowly but surely, things started to click. The physical strain of the course is also intense. Imagine trying to hold your body perfectly still in the water, fighting against every natural instinct to move. Now add complex drills such as the Basic 5 and the S drill, where you'll demonstrate competence in handling emergencies. The aha moment came towards the end of the course, where I started to nail my buoyancy and trim. This allowed me more capacity to focus on higher level tasks such as finning and emergency drills. My body had finally internalized the proper position, freeing up my mental capacity to focus on the task at hand. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. This experience taught me a crucial lesson about diving and in life in general. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It's only when you push yourself to your limits and then beyond that you truly improve. The GUE Fundamentals course isn't just about learning new skills, it's about discovering what you're truly capable of and what you can do if you refuse to give up. If you're considering taking this course, be prepared for moments of self-doubt and frustration. They're not just normal, they're an essential part of the learning process. Remember that everyone, even the most experienced divers, struggle at some point during the course. The key is to persist, to keep pushing forward, even when it feels impossible. Don't be afraid to ask for help or extra practice time. The instructors are there to support you, not to judge you. They've seen countless divers struggle and overcome these same challenges. Trust in their guidance and in the process. They're there to help mentor and guide you through it. Most importantly, stay focused on why you're there. For me, it was about becoming the best diver I could be, about pushing my limits and discovering new capabilities. When things got tough, I reminded myself of this goal. Surviving GUE Fundamentals is just one thing, but truly internalizing its lessons is another. What happens when you take those hard-earned skills back to open water? The answer might surprise even the most experienced divers. As I approached the end of the course, I had a startling realization. I might not pass. But here's the thing, I was okay with that. The challenge and the course material had already transformed me as a diver. I had felt like I'd grown in those few days more than years of just casual recreational diving. Let me show you how this course changes you. Even if you don't achieve that coveted recreational or technical pass, it's not just about mastering skills, it's about developing a new mindset. I found myself approaching every dive with heightened awareness, constantly analyzing my technique and surroundings. This newfound attention to detail made me feel more confident and in control in the water. These skills we learn in GUE Fundamentals aren't just party tricks for impressing your dive buddies. They're fundamental techniques that apply to all aspects of diving, from casual reef exploration to advanced technical dives. Improved buoyancy control meant I could get closer to marine life without disturbing it. Better trim and propulsion techniques allowed me to move through the water more efficiently, conserving air and extending my bottom time. More importantly, should any failure happen on a dive, I felt more confident in being able to handle it. And also, the idea of team-based diving really clicked with me. Not just seeing one person you have to keep track of as a dive buddy, but more of everyone you're diving with is a dive buddy and you are a dive team. Everyone on that dive team is diving together and needs to be aware of each other and work together to be safe. But the real transformation came in how I approached dive planning and safety. Before the course, I'd often just jump in with a casual, let's see what we find attitude. I'll listen to the dive master. Now I find myself meticulously planning each dive, considering factors that previously overlooked. Like gas management came second nature, and I was constantly aware of my exit strategies, where all exits accounted for exiting not just for myself, but counting for one other. And that ensures that regardless of the team I am on, if one person goes out of air, I have enough air always in my tank to make sure that both of us can get up to the surface. And that's a part of the teamwork. No matter what happens on that dive, who runs out of air, you have enough redundancies that you'll be okay. If you're considering taking the GUE Fundamentals, keep in mind that the course is just the beginning. The real growth happens when you apply these skills in various diving environments. GUE truly teaches amazing fundamentals to diving, and ultimately what you do with them after is up to you. But you will walk away feeling the true value of everything you learned and transformed as a diver. Remember, diving is a journey of continuous improvement, and GUE Fundamentals provides an excellent roadmap, but it's up to you to keep refining your skills and pushing your limits. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and never stop seeking ways to become a better, safer diver. Remember, diving is a lifelong journey of learning and improvement. There's always something new to discover beneath the waves. If you're looking to take your diving to the next level, check out my video on the top 25 tips to improve as a scuba diver. It's packed with lessons I've learned throughout my diving journey, including insights from this course. Check it out here, and until next time.